Hello students. So we are doing chapter 1 bricks, beads and bones. Now we come to the next topic, that is seals, script, weights. So underline in this, seals and sealings were used to facilitate long distance communication. So these seals and sealings played a big role in the long distance communication, in transportation of goods, etc. Next point, a bag of goods. Next point, a bag of goods, its mouth was tied with a rope, and on the knot was affixed some wet clay on which one or more seals were pressed, leaving an impression. Now, what is happening? That on a bag, its mouth is being tied with a rope, and on the rope there is a stamp fixed with some wet clay. So this seal which has been pressed on that wet clay leaves an impression. Next point, if the bag reached with its seals intact, it meant that it had not been tampered with. So that means if that clay was intact, that means nobody has opened that bag, and this showing that that material has not been tampered. The sealing also conveyed the identity of the sender. So that means the design of the seal expressed the person who was sending that. Now come to enigmatic script. Enigmatic means which is difficult to understand. So how is the Harappan script very difficult and it has not been deciphered? What are the reasons for it? Now come to first point. Harappan seals usually have a line of writing, probably containing the name and the title of the owner. Next point, next paragraph. Most inscriptions are short, the longest containing about 26 signs. Next point, the script remains undeciphered to date. So nobody has been able to read it. Next point, not alphabetic. Continuing with this, as it has too many signs, somewhere between 375 and 400. So it is having a lot of signs, and this cannot be a alphabetic script. It will be mostly a sign script. Next point, the script was written from right to left, as some seals show a wider spacing on the right and cramping on the left. So that means the script was written from right towards left. And how do we come to know that this has been written from right to left? The alphabets or the signs which are starting from right are spaced. तो क्या है कि उनके बीच में बहुत ज़्यादा गैप है, और जैसे जैसे वो लेफ्ट की तरफ जा रहे हैं वो गैप कम हो रहा है, क्योंकि वहां पर उस लाइन को फिनिश होना है. So that is why we are guessing that it is starting from right and finishing towards left. Next point, writing has been found now right here on seals, copper tools, rims of jars, copper and terracotta tablets, jewelry, bone rods, even an ancient signboard. So these are the variety of objects, artifacts which we have found on which the seals are there. Writing has been done. Okay, and there are signboards also which we have found. Like for example, signboards have been found at Dholavira. Now coming to weights, how are the weights and the measures? Exchange regulated by weights, usually made of a stone, generally cubic, with no marking. So that means the items used to weight, they were mostly made of stones, and there was no specific marking on those weights which were made of stone. Next point, the lower denominations of weights were binary, that is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, continuing up to 12,800, while the higher denominations followed the decimal system. Next point, the smaller weights were probably used for weighting jewelry and beads. So this these weights have been used for heavier weights, and for smaller weights are being used for only weighting jewelry or beads. Metal scale pans have also been found. Now we come to the next topic, that is ancient authority. In ancient authority, it is trying to say that what kind of political system was there in the Harappan civilization. As we don't have much information, so what are the archaeological finds on basis of which we can try to find out what was the political system of the Harappan people. So first point, indication of complex decisions being taken and implemented in society, Harappan society. So that means that because different sites are having almost same kind of buildings, same kind of bricks, same kinds of script, same kinds of artifacts, etc. So that means it is talking about a very complex decision and that can be only taken by some authority. Next point, uniformity of Harappan artifacts as evident in the pottery, seals, weights and bricks. So there is uniformity, मतलब एक जैसे हैं सारे के सारे जो भी हड़प्पन आर्टिफैक्ट्स है, चाहे वो पॉटरी हो, सील्स हो, वेट्स हो या ब्रिक्स हो, तो ये सब तभी पॉसिबल है जब देर इज अ यूनिफॉर्म, देर इज अ सिंगल अथॉरिटी विच इज कंट्रोलिंग द होल ऑफ हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन. Next point, bricks, come to next line, were of a uniform ratio throughout the region from Jammu to Gujarat. So that means there is a single standard size of bricks all over the Harappan site. Next point, settlements were strategically set up in specific locations for various reasons. So these settlements, for example, Mohenjo-daro, Hadappa, Kalibanga, Lothal, Nageshwar, etc., they were set up for a specific reason in different areas. Next point, labor was mobilized for making bricks and for the construction of massive walls and platforms. So labor was moving from one place to another. So this is also showing that there is uniformity of political system. If people from Hadappa want to go to Lothal, they can only move around if the same political system is there. So this is also trying to show that there is a uniform form of government. Now we come to the next topic in ancient authority, that is palaces and kings. What are the archaeological finds? You can write here, elaborate this line. You can write here what are the archaeological finds which are talking about political system in the Harappan civilization. For a center of power or for depiction of power, people in power, archaeological records provide no immediate answer. So that means we don't have really any record or any archaeological find which suggests that there was some power, political power, which was controlling the whole of civilization. A large building at Mohenjo-daro was labeled as a palace by archaeologists. So one building has been found which is looks like a palace, but it is not a palace and it has been labeled as a palace by the archaeologist. Next point, a stone statue was labeled and continues to be known as a priest king. Look at this figure. Now this statue has been found and this has also been named as priest king by the archaeologist. Next point, the ritual practices of the Harappan civilizations are not well understood, yet nor are there any means of knowing whether those who performed them also held political powers. So we don't have any better knowledge about what were the rituals, what were the religious rituals, social rituals the civilization was practicing, and this does not give us any information about the political power. Now, what are the historian views? What do archaeologists view? What are the theories about the authority that is controlling the political power of Harappan civilization? First point, some archaeologists are of the opinion that Harappan society had no rulers and that everyone enjoyed equal status. This is one view by archaeologists, that maybe there was no ruler and everyone was equal, but actually this is not possible in a society. Next theory is, others feel that there was no single ruler but several, that Mohenjo-daro had a separate ruler, Harappa another, and so forth. Now another theory is saying that there were different rulers at different places of Harappan sites. For example, there is a ruler in Mohenjo-daro, there is a separate ruler in Harappan site, there is a separate ruler in Kalibanga site, there is a separate ruler at Chanhodaro, there is a separate ruler at Lothal, etc. This also cannot be possible. So what are the other views? Others argue that there was a single state given the similarity in artifacts the evidence for planned settlements, the standard ratio of bricks, and the establishment of settlements near the source of material. Now, this theory, which is talking about that there is a single ruler and under him there is everything being planned, the cities are being planned, there is a standard ratio of bricks, that settlements are mostly near the sources of raw material. So this theory looks which can be agreed to it. Now you can underline the next point here. The last theory which gives all this description, the last theory seems the most possible. Possible is which is reasonable और जिस पे हम विश्वास कर सकते हैं. Now students, coming to the next topic, that is the end of the civilization. We'll understand how did the Harappan civilization actually end. Now first point, Harappan sites after 1900 BCE appears to have been a transformation. So there is, after 1900 BCE, there is a lot of changes in the Harappan sites which suggest that this Harappan civilization ended. What are the of transformation? Disappearance of the distinct artifacts of the civilization, such as weights, seals, special beads, writing, long distance trade, and craft specialization. So these all better quality of artifacts, seals, weights, this all disappeared after 1900 BC, and so we can come to know why there is a transformation in the culture, which we call the later Harappan culture. Now come to the next point. House construction techniques deteriorated and large public structures were no longer produced. So very big buildings such as great bath, warehouse were no more constructed. So that means the construction quality of the Hadappans also fell down. Next point, artifacts and settlements indicate a rural way of life in what are called late Harappan or successor culture. So the matured Harappan culture, which was an urban culture, and the later Harappan culture, which became a rural culture, is showing a lot of changes. So thus we can say that this civilization was ending. Now coming to the next topic, what brought about these changes? This is one of the most important questions which is asked in frequent exams, that what are the changes which brought the end to the civilization. So you can circle this, what brought about these changes. First, several explanations have been put forward. So now we'll understand which are these explanations. Come to next line. First explanation is climatic change. Second is deforestation. Third is excessive flood. Fourth is the shifting and or drying of rivers. Fifth, overuse of the landscape. So these are the various reasons which archaeologists, historians have given a theory that these are the reasons how the Harappan civilization actually came to an end. Now, next point, some of these causes may hold for certain settlements, but they do not explain the collapse of the entire civilization. So climatic changes, this can be for one place, deforestation can be for 2 to 3 places, excessive floods can be for the places which were located on the riversides, the shifting and drying of rivers, this also can be for the sites which were located on the river sides. So one reason can be for one site, but for full civilization which is in a very large area, one specific reason cannot be specified for the end of the civilization. So thus we don't have any information how the civilization ended, and this is also unknown as the script.